This tweet is a reminder, maybe time to check in again with Ingersoll Lockwood. Vincent Kennedy Z speaks of a dream where Donald Trump was communicating with Junior on a topic of time travel, specifically mentioning travels of adventures of Little Baron Trump. Can books be inserted into the past? Tweeted by this Enoch. So I check on Ingersoll Lockwood website every now and then to see if there are updates. There have not been any updates lately. I will take this time to glance again at a reference, USS for United States ship, implying a seafaring force, used in the context of describing the US Space Force, always above. And so as implied by the biblical concept of the firmament, I ask, are there still waters above? You YouTube search topic, rust on moon, you'll find there are videos on this topic of there being an ongoing oxidation process in the surface of the moon.
Hello Space Cats, I'm Dr. Maggie Lou and welcome back to my channel. In recent news, the moon is rusty and astronomers aren't so sure why. We all know what rust is. When iron metal is oxidized, the reaction between iron and oxygen in the presence of water will leave behind a reddish-brown substance that gives Mars its characteristic red color. But hang on a second. If the reason that Mars is red is because it's rusting, then if the moon is also rusting, how come it's not red? Well, although the moon seems to be brilliantly white, it's actually very slowly turning red. Scientists have found evidence of Fe2O3 on the moon, 2 iron atoms and 3 oxygen atoms, also known as hematite, but maybe more familiar to you and I as rust. But how did it get there? The key to forming rust is iron, oxygen, and water, none of which is on the moon, right? This is a map of hematite on the moon's poles, and from yellow to red color, these are increasing density of hematite. Although the moon isn't actually in a vacuum, it has a very weak atmosphere that is composed of argon, helium, and neon, and unfortunately, no oxygen. I said that water ice was found in the permanently shadowed craters, right? Then how come it's the rims of the craters that are bright with hematite and not the crater floors? One theory is that micrometeorites strike the moon on a regular basis. Their impacts could liberate water molecules on the surface while heating the surface enough to allow oxidation to occur when they do.
I don't really agree with that theory. Here's lunar wave phenomena as covered by Crow 777.
You don't know whether it's your eyes or what. And then I notice a second wave coming. And at this point, I'm thinking it's my camera. I look up at the moon again and, I just don't know what to think. I saved the clip out. I don't delete it. I almost did. And I look at it for quite some time, weeks maybe. Looking at it over and over, and I'm realizing that, this is not the way a digital camera malfunctions. This is an organic line, no pixelation, no shredding of the signal. And it finally dawns on me that the pan of the camera proves it. When I pan down, and I usually don't shoot this way, I usually stay centered, almost always stay centered.
If you get a chance, check out the Lunar Wave Explained by What the Flock TV. He basically describes the phenomena as our moon engaging in bubble physics, having phased inertial collapse with the firmament.
In a liquid, just like the Earth, just the gas, and when it gets near, with the Earth pressure, it creates a lunar wave type of effect. Now I'm going to slow it down and show you in a sec. And you can see it just there. Did you see it in the bubble? Like a lunar wave. I'll slow it down if more and arrow it. Just look about there. And you'll see it. A lunar wave type of effect in a bubble when it gets near a solid surface. Now if people out there going, whoa, you're talking about it, the moon's hitting a solid surface. Well, if you read Enoch, he talks about how the sun and the moon enter and pass through windows or portals. And
when you put in this search term, you get results that the Googles want you to see, so you have to switch that to upload date. Even here the results are meager, but there are some results here as well.
Space, you can literally see bubbles coming up from these astronauts' helmets. It's ridiculous. When I saw it, I was like, this is a joke.
So many times during spacewalks outside the International Space Station, we can see air bubbles rising up. Can you touch on how there are air bubbles in space?
We can
more specific, air bubbles?
So yeah, like a lot of times during the footage, the NASA footage, you can see bubbles coming up out of the helmets or kind of from underneath you. How do you explain bubbles in space?
Yeah, often on the outside of the space station, you'll liberate little pieces of, it's a really harsh environment out there.
So, just taking this all in together, you kind of wonder, what did William Shatner actually see on the Jeff Bezos flight? Clicking above takes you to the Book of Enoch, the Watchers. This is a real list of retired military men who put their names behind the project of this Ingersoll Lockwood website. I have a pretty good feeling that in the next few years we may have some more definitive answers to these questions. Just something to think about. Peace.